Hello everyone. Yeah, welcome to our today's video again. You know very well that I make my videos when I'm done with a particular class, and this week I think we rounded up with route AWS Route 53. So I'm going to be making a short video on AWS Route 53. AWS Route 53 can be considered as a highly available and a scalable domain name system web service. So generally, it plays a very crucial role in DevOps by managing domain names, by routing traffic to resources such as EC2 instances, load balancers, and it goes further to provide health checks to ensure highly availability. So generally, that is what it does, and I always call this AWS Route 53 as a naming service. A naming service because what it does is simply uh, break down a complicated, let me not call it breakdown, uh, name a complicated uh, number or a word that is quite difficult for you to recall into a simple uh, a simple name that can be recalled. I mean, this is what I mean. Like, for example, when you have like a phone number, it's very difficult for you to recall thousands of phone numbers by your head, but you can easily recall somebody's name. So what you simply do is you use the phone number and map to a name that you can easily recall. You must not necessarily put the person's name, but you put a name that it can make you identify that this is the person that you want to talk to. So it's the same thing that is the same role that Route 53 plays. When you go like to EC2 instances, once you have launched one, you can easily get there, pick the IP address that you have there and map it to a domain name, which would be much easier. For example, you could have a domain name like example.com. It's much easier for somebody to remember example.com than for somebody to remember 195 dot this dot this dot this slice. Just saying it, my breath is already seizing up. And other complicated names. So other complicated records, C names, C records, and all of that you get to learn when we get into it. So you simply come out with a domain name, which will be much easier. So I will show you what we do here in Route 53. This is it here. So when you come to Route 53, you are right on this Route 53 dashboard. So right here, register domain. So you can register a domain here, and we pick a domain name. For example, Steven.com is a domain name. So domain names have to be very unique. That means that it should not clash with another one. So we can always check, like for example, check here and let's see if we have that available anywhere. And it tells us that Steven.com is not available. So that's a possibility we could use it. Apart from which, there are other suggestions. Here, different suggestions. Steven.solution, stevenphoto.com, and so on. So if we decide to go for any of this, for example, let's say stevenphoto.com, if it's sold what we want, you select it. Boy, it's not for free. You have to pay some money, but it's not that expensive though. $13 for 1 year. So if you want this, you proceed, and this is auto renewal, and you can take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, up to 10 years, depending on what you want, how long you want that domain name to exist. So if you say let's go for 1 year, then you proceed. And when you proceed, the simple thing that you have to do Here is enter the required information here. And now this one will be a billing information. And once you register everything here and it has been said, you can go further and you pay. I'm not going to pay because I have already paid for one. That's just a simple thing that you do and you have one. So if you were to go through all of this and you are done, then you must have registered one. Let's see. So let's see here. I have one that I've registered already. That's one. Blunton.com. That is a domain name. So that's a registered domain name. Blunton.com. As simple as that. So you see that is very easy. So hey, we're gonna go further now from here to see how we can um, simply create a DNS record, from our registered domain name. So this is our domain name that we have already. I have a web page that I already launched and it should be running. I don't know. Okay, right here. Yeah, and what I'm needing from this web page thing here is, yeah, my server. That's one. So the only thing that I'll be needing from here will be the public IP address so that I can use it to map it to my already domain name. So if I copy this and come back to Route 53, I'll move up here to hosted zone, and on the hosted zone here, under this hosted zone, if you open here, let's create a record. See, request here, create a record. So, and I come here and there is a subdomain. You can decide a name, bring a subdomain here, you leave it like this. And if I want to put a subdomain, I can say www.bluntum.com. That's my subdomain, and I simply come here and attach the IP address, right? As simple as that. So look at records. Which type of records are we using here? We are routing the traffic to an IPv4. That means an IP address. You could equally route it to IPv6 to a C record, route traffic to another domain, or some AWS resources. And there are several other types here that you can use. So our focus will be on IPv4 and on CNames. That's one. So let's create this record. Let's come back here. All right, now, how is our routing policy? We come down here, look at their various policies. Just a simple routing. We map the IP address to a domain name here. Creating a record, which is just a simple one where you can just go on your website and you browse. There are different types, and we are going to go over all of these ones here. So that's it. So we come down here and you can just say create a record, and the record has been created. As simple as that. Let me remove this one. I'll open a bigger space. You can open here and you look at www.bluntum.com. It's an A record and it's a simple record. So therefore, if I want to share this website to a friend like you, well, I just simply come here, copy this, and say, hey friend, I have my website that I just launched. Please, can you kindly check this and send this to you? And when you click it, let's see what is going to give us. Put on website, and let's see. This is my website running. Let's see what it's going to say. Okay, this was my server launched by this phone version. So you see what it shows. Simply, instead of giving you an IP address like this, we have mapped it to a name like this, to a name like www.bluntum.com, which makes it much easier for you to remember. All right. Yep. That is for a simple record. Okay. So we're going to continue with we are going to use a C record to map to a domain name. So generally, I'm going to use a name that I have, I mean, a record that I have in S3. I have a static website that is running in S3. So if we come to S3, we have, where is that website? We have this website here. This website here is running presently. Um, so if I come down here, I can be able to test this website like, like so. So you see, this website is running in S3. So what we are going to do is we are going to use this DNS that we have here provided by Amazon and transform it to an easily readable DNS. Look at this, is very long. So we look something shorter by going to our Route 53. Remember, one thing with mapping uh, a DNS from an S3 bucket to Route 53, you need to create a bucket that has the same name like a domain name. So, like for example, look at the name that we have here again. Let me come back to S3 again. Look at the name of this bucket. The name of this bucket is web.bluntum.com. If your bucket name is doesn't if your bucket name doesn't tie with your the domain name that you're using in Route 53, it's not going to work. It's going to be giving you a 404 error, you know. So that's what we're simply going to do. So let's come to our hosted zone here and up on here, and let's say create a record. So you see my domain name that I have here, bluntum.com. So I'll simply just add web.bluntum.com, and remember it's a C name. So and now I can paste the domain name provided by Amazon for the S3 bucket here, and then I go for that. I'm creating just a simple routing. There's a policy here, and I create. So it's been created. So let's view it and see how it looks like. It's in the pending state. So we have to make sure that it's active. Once it's active, then we test it and see how it looks like. All right. Okay. So just give him a couple of minutes and we check and be sure that it's working already. So so I hope it's working already. I did not. I'll actually check if it's working already. Hopefully it's working already. So like if you still come here and check this one, let's check this one. Is the DNS name from this one is from S3. So look at how long it is. Now let's check the one that we just changed to this. Okay, I hope it's already working. I wasn't able to view it back. So we come back here and we map it. You see that? So I can easily give you web.bluntum.com. Web.bluntum.com. That's much easier for you than a lengthy name like the one we had, than a lengthy name like this one here. This one is too long. So I can easily give you this short one and you have it. Alright? Okay. So the next thing that I'll be demonstrating here for in our next video is how we can be able to map maybe say A records to different geographical locations. So much that somebody, if you move like to different regions, you should be able to view whatsoever the website is displaying